This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning again. My name is Paul Grzella. I'm the director of the Greater Raritan Workforce Development Board, which services job seekers and employers in Hunterdon and Somerset counties. We are a federally and state funded quasi-private organization that is run by a staff and a board of members from the public. This is one of our new efforts that we've undertaken, trying to make sure that people are aware of our services, can take advantage of them, and be connected to them. This presentation is about the Workforce Development Board's systems, partners, and the various services and how you can connect to them. It includes a little bit of the background on the board, just so you understand who and what we are, and also details on some of our direct services, as well as how you can connect to system partners. We're now up to, it looks like I can't count, about 14 people on the, 13 on the record on this call. If you do have questions, please add them to the chat. I will try to keep an eye on the chat as we're going along. If I do miss something, don't hesitate to unmute yourself and just have me stop and go over something that may not be clear. We will also have time for general questions at the end. And I will say too that if you would like, after you see this, if there are questions on this PowerPoint, I will be happy to email this to you. You just need to put your email address in the chat box. And with that, we'll begin. Maybe, there we go. So what exactly is a Workforce Development Board? We are mandated under a federal act from 2014. We exist, as I said, we cover Hunterdon and Somerset counties. We are one of 17 workforce boards in New Jersey and one of hundreds, or actually more than 1,000 around the country. Every area has a workforce board, and we're all trying to basically do the same work, but trying to understand what our local needs may be. And that includes identifying the local needs of the job market. We try to, as what we're doing with today, try to make sure that we leverage our resources as much as possible. We try to promote our investments, workforce investments, and the programs that we, along with our state and federal partners, offer. We try to connect job seekers to career information, programs, and opportunities, and also connect hiring employers with job seekers. And we have a program going on right now that's doing just that. Our goal and our mission is to develop a world-class workforce. As part of that, we also have oversight of the one-stop career centers in Somerville and Flemington. And constantly behind all of this is the mission to create a flexible, seamless, and responsive workforce system that meets the needs of our two main buckets of customers, workers and businesses, or job seekers and employers. Just so you understand, this is just a little chart of how are the different partners that we work with. As I said, this includes state and federal partners as well. Besides our full board, which meets quarterly and is supported by executive committee, we also have 4 subcommittees: a one-stop committee, a youth committee, a literacy committee, and a disabilities committee. These committees focus on key parts of our work that we are tasked to do by the federal statute. The committees are all volunteers, as is our board. All of these people are volunteers, and all working to try to help us, and help by us, I mean the Workforce Development Board, make sure that the resources that we have are adequately positioned and correctly positioned to help our two buckets of customers, our job seekers and our employers. We have a full-time staff of 3. That includes myself, a business and finance manager, and a job developer. And we work directly, as I said, with a variety of partners, including the One Stop Career Training Center and the One Stop Center. As I said, we are trying to ensure that we have a flexible workforce training education system. This includes customer service that we hope is unparalleled, an understanding of what our employers and our job seekers need, and that we connect those two buckets accordingly. And we also are tasked to work with a variety of targeted populations as well as the general population. Our targeted population include veterans, youth, reentry, English language learners, migrant seasonal farm workers, individuals with disabilities. And all of it is geared toward the same thing, to make sure that people are on a sustainable wage career employment pathway. These are our main priorities, including connecting creating sector strategies that look at growth. We try to make sure that we really align ourselves with true employment outcomes. We want people to have a job, but we want people to get into a well-paying career pathway. We try to make sure that we are always outreaching to businesses and job seekers in the most effective way possible. In our area too, we also know that transportation is an integral component of employment, so we do have separate programs to support that when needed. And we're always looking, since we are federally and state funded, we're always trying to make sure that we identify potential additional revenue streams as well. We, as the board and the staff, review these priorities annually. And right now, because of COVID, they've really been reviewing these every few months to ensure that we remain flexible and align with real-time needs. We'll be showing you, these are kind of like the main points that we work with. We provide a lot of labor and market information. We also have a business services arm. We try to do a lot of collaboration with our different local, county, and state stakeholders to make sure that we understand all the different pockets of need and concern. And also have incumbent worker training, which can include individual training programs as well as group training programs. Right now, we have a COVID-19 dislocated worker program as an example. This is in addition to the normal individual training programs that we provide. This grant is specifically for people who have been dislocated or unemployed because of COVID, and is providing for grants in 4 specific areas, training grants in 4 specific areas. One of the direct services that the Workforce Board added in 2020 is a skill upgrader Raritan. It's an online learning portal that is free to residents of Hunterdon and Somerset counties. We like this because it has a very strong career pathways element. We like it because as people are going through the system, through the platform, they get certificates that allow them to, I think, feel some accomplishment and allow them to be targeted to exactly what they are looking for. The system has more than 5,000 courses that you can access during the 6-month period. You can take as many courses as you like during this period as well. And as I said, we also like it just because you can achieve results. Users are adding new skills. They can show their certificates to employers or their current employers to show how they're learning new skills on their own, or to potential employers to show, here is how I've retrained myself or added to my skill set to add value to hiring me. The access is immediate. You can go on to either through our website or go to the first address that you see up here on the screen. And it's a very simple process to log in. We recommend that people, if they don't have a career, a goal in mind, that they consider using the career pathways tool that allows you to identify your career goals and any potential skill gaps. Courses can be selected in a variety of ways, including the career pathways, as I just mentioned. They're also grouped by skill tracks, industry certifications. There are 5 areas of study that this includes, and one of the elements that we added to this year, last fall now, in 2020, I keep forgetting we're in 2021, is an element where you can, if you take all the courses with us leading up to a certification exam, we will also pay we will help support you and cover the cost of your separate certification exam. So the entire pathway becomes something that we are supporting. And also, this is a very, this, as I said, has over 5,000 courses. It's really has a very powerful catalog search tool as well. Every week, we run an introductory webinar that runs about 30 to 40 minutes that goes into a great deal more details on this. You can find information on our website. Our next one is tomorrow at 3, I believe. I have to check on that. But we do run them every week, and you can, we also have one of these recorded as well, so you can just listen to it. And similarly to what I invited you to before, you are also welcome to get the PowerPoint for your own use. As I mentioned, one of the key resources are all the partners that we work with. This includes our, excuse me, our training partners that provide career counseling, career coaching, career assessment, workshops, virtual workshops, and training grants. You'll see here that we have offices located in Somerville and Flemington. Because of COVID, all of the offices are closed to the public, but all of our team members are working and ready to serve you. We have been providing direct services through virtual webinars, through virtual classes. Counseling is provided through either telephone, through text, or through meetings like this, through either Zoom or Skype, whatever way we can to help people get the guidance and resources and access to resources that they need. I mean, unemployment insurance for those who are unemployed, all of those services are handled virtually as well through telephonic or digital means. Those offices have been closed to the public since March. And I should mention too that every Friday, our Career Training Center runs an orientation session where they go over their different training grant services as well as other services as a way for people to get more information on what they may be, what they may find helpful or be eligible for. Excuse me. This includes the various buckets that we work with include Wagner Pizer, which offer career counseling interviews and other services to the newly unemployed or people who are underemployed. We also have a one-stop career training center, which I mentioned. They provide they provide career counseling as well, resume review, virtual webinars, and access to our individual training grants, as well as connecting people to different group training opportunities. For example, right now, Morris County College has been running a advanced manufacturing boot camp that people can take part in, and that includes spots for residents of Somerset and Hunterdon counties. Another group that we're working with is the North Jersey Partners, which is a consortium of workforce boards. That group is running, has a similar special COVID grant, and theirs is focusing on Salesforce training. That training began this week. And we are trying to make sure that people can be connected if that's an avenue that they are interested in. And of course, we also work with a variety of other customers, including people who are in Work First and SNAP programs. We have specific programs to try to help that population connect both to general services and then as needed to career counseling as well. And we also work with the Learning Link, which provides literacy services. This is just a look at the different types of specialized populations that we work with. Includes everything from veterans and ex-offenders to youth who are out of school, 16 to 24. As I mentioned, we provide training grants. We have a whole host of resources that we've developed to try to give people access to services that we think services and information to help them in their job search. This is just a reminder too that we do work directly with our state business reps who provide a number of services. Right now, one of the things that they are doing, they have been doing right along since, I want to say April. Sorry, just lost my turn. Since April, they have been doing a job match project in which the two business reps, along with the team member in this office, Gene Casano, our job developer, have been matching people who are in the state system who are unemployed, matching their skills with open jobs listings that come through the NLX system. And they have been sending out direct emails to, I think since the end of April, beginning of April, they've sent about 250,000 emails to people to alert them that these positions are open and that they may be something that they may be interested in based on their profile in the state system. And it's been, I think, one of the ways that we can try to connect our employers with job seekers. And we have been letting our employers know that we are doing this work so that our employers can post these job openings, and then the system partners do the work of trying to connect those openings to eligible job seekers. The link that you see there, US NLX, you can go into that link yourself to look at a whole host of jobs that are open and available and around, not only in our two counties, but around the state and around the nation. As I mentioned, one of the things that we have a direct access to is labor market information that we try to keep as close to real time as possible. And this information, which I'll show you after we're done, looks at it looks at job postings, trying to understand and as close to real time as possible who's hiring, where the jobs are located by town, which town has the most openings, what those companies, who those companies are, what the jobs are, and also one of the interesting things that they also look at is skills that are needed. What are the skills that are in greatest demand? You'll see here that this is this is a year and a half ago. This is what was seen from June 26th to September 23rd of 2019. And we're going to be doing a new one for the end of this month. Some of this has changed as far as what employers are looking for right now, but one thing that hasn't changed is the need to have the ability to work in the different Microsoft suite offerings. That always pops up very high. One of the things, communication skills remains high, but it's not the number one right now. It's interesting, teamwork has gone up to number one, and problem solving also went up a little bit more. And I think that's a reflection of the fact that how we work has changed for many since COVID, where you may be working from home more and need to be able to problem solve on your own before reaching out to somebody else, but also understanding how to work in a team environment that may be remote based. All of these skills that you see here, and even including the Microsoft Office suite, all of these are available through our free Skill Up program. We also, through our labor market partners, have been doing some, in the past, have done some forecasting about which positions may be growing in the near future. Because of COVID, a lot of this information is still kind of, well, it isn't kind of, it is fluid. They're still trying to understand which jobs are going to be most valued after we get through COVID and start a recovery. There's a growing consensus that remote abilities and remote work will not change, that will be something that's still very highly valued. And there's some other growth positions, particularly in warehousing and trafficking and Salesforce. Those type of positions we expect to continue to grow, as well as positions in healthcare as well. One thing that we do encourage people to do is to text the phrase one stop to 56512. This one will enable you to get weekly text alerts on different information and programs that are coming up within the system. They come up as on your phone. You can then click on the link and look at the different programs. If there's something that interests you, you can forward the attachment that comes up to your email or to your email, so you can save it. It's just one more resource. Of course, I already went over Skill Up, and this is our website, which I'm going to just do a quick review with you as well. I saw there was one comment. I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions about what I've shared. If you need additional information or clarification, or you have any comments, feel free to, at this point, you can unmute yourself or just put your comments in the chat box. Okay. I don't know if that means I'm doing well or you're just bored. I hope you're not too bored. I hope you are finding this of interest for whatever reason that you decided to join today, which we really appreciate that you can take advantage of this as well. I wanted to draw your attention to our calendar. When you go to their website, the GRWDB.org, click on events and then calendar. This will take you to a calendar that we're trying to constantly update and provide to people a variety of different resources. One of the things that the system did prior to COVID through our business service representatives was host in-person job fairs where people could come to meet with hiring representatives from companies right in our offices in either in Hunterdon or Somerville, sorry, in Flemington or Somerville. Right now, because of COVID, that has not been occurring, but we are starting to have interest from our employers to do information sessions. We have been doing, I think we've done 5 sessions, virtual information sessions on for Amazon, which opened in mid-December of last year, a very large facility in Franklin, Somerset County. We have another one of those sessions coming up at 11 o'clock today, and a final one next Tuesday at 11 o'clock. You are more than welcome to join those sessions. You just have to register. The one for today is closed, but the one for next week, registration is open through next Saturday. We had another information hiring event for Walmart in Flemington last week, and we are working with several other employers to develop additional information sessions on their open positions. We're starting to see an increased interest in that. And this is just an example, as you see here, of the many other programs that we are either hosting locally or that we may hear about, and we add to this as a resource. As an example, on the 14th of this month, a Gateway Regional Chamber and Union and Exits is having an event that we want to make sure people were aware of. And as you can see, we do have that, as I mentioned, the skill up. Whoops. See if I can get it up. It's not working. That's annoying. But you just focus, run your mouse over the link and highlight it, and then it did work for us. Yes, it is 3 o'clock tomorrow is our more in-depth look at Skill Up. As I said, you can just go to the site, and it's just like this. Join us at 3 o'clock through GoToMeeting, and we will be happy to help in any way we can. Under the Resources tab, you will find the link for Skill Up Greater Raritan. Wanted to bring your attention to 2 other tabs here. One is our Job Seekers tab. This includes a whole host of resources for job seekers. One thing is the COVID-19 Jobs and Hiring Portal that Governor Murphy started at the end of March. This is constantly updated. These tend to be in-person positions. It's statewide, but you can search it individually. Every week, we also post job openings that came into the state system in the past week. So this is the file for that we posted yesterday for Somerset County. You will see it, I think it has, I want to say 600 openings in here, and we have it by company, where the company is located, the job title, and then the link that you can click on for more information and to apply. And these positions are a range of positions. Some of them may be part-time, many of them are full-time, and there are all types of roles and businesses. everything from restaurants that we're starting to see come back, to tech programs that are looking for more advanced people with advanced knowledge of different programs. There's a whole host of programs for positions for technical, for pharmacies, for J&J's, you see here, even L'Oreal, and a whole host, MetLife, Merck. So all the major employers are listed here. And this is a resource we hope that people will find helpful and be aware of as they continue to learn more about what they may be wanting to do. On this, under the resources tab here, you'll also see a contact form at the top of the page where you can put your first and last name. You'll see some different things that you can highlight. You'll send the email will not go into the ether. It will come to myself and a person in our One-Stop Career Training Center, and we will try to get back to you right away to help you get connected to resources that you need. I also added a link here to a career dashboard that was created by the Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce. This is a searchable database of pulling from the same resource that we use to create those PDFs. It gives you another way to search not only for Hunterdon and Somerset County, but you can do multiple counties. You can do by job title, by employer. It's a very easy, relatively easy, I should say, search tool. Just another way that you can, another resource that you can use to search for current jobs. We also, as I mentioned, we have started to tape, or sorry, I keep saying that, record our presentations so people can listen to them at their own convenience. And then throughout this site, you will see that there's a number of other resources that we've tried to aggregate for you as additional tools. If you're someone who's not sure, if you're kind of searching for what you may be doing next, ONET Online, the Occupational Outlook Handbook, the Competency Model Clearinghouse, and the Career One Stop are all good resources to start with. I also would recommend that if you're not familiar with it, NJCAN is another good resource that will help you kind of hone your whatever decisions you may be becoming in on. And then we've also aggregated other local resources from around their area. And we do encourage people, if they haven't are hooked in already, to really contact their local library. Libraries around both the Somerset County Library System as well as the other libraries in our two counties have a host of really good resources that can help you further get connected to people who may be job searching as well, or just find other supportive resources. One other resource that I always encourage people to become familiar with is the New Start Career Network, which has aggregated on their site probably well over 100 different webinars that they've done about job search and being smart about how you present yourself, create your job search, plan your job search. This career network was begun for people for long-term unemployed people 45 and older, but really a lot of the resources that they have aggregated would be appropriate for anyone, any age who is looking for work or looking for a new opportunity, who they feel that they're underemployed. And as you can see, there are just more resources here as well. One final resource I want to draw your attention to is also under the resources tab, the labor market information, research and analysis page. This includes our Greater Raritan Unemployment Tracker. This is something we created specifically for our 2 counties back in, I want to say, maybe June, and we've continued to add to it throughout the since then. Every week we update this with the latest information on, let me just call it up for you. It's in our minds, it's a kind of a directional tool for job seekers that you may find, and so you can understand which areas have been most impacted. And by areas, I'm referencing both towns and occupations, so that you can understand, you know, there are let's see, so this is Hunterdon County. In Somerset County, sales and office administration, people who had that experience have been very heavily impacted by the COVID pandemic. So this may not be an area that you may want to consider if you're doing a job search, because there are already so many people in those areas who've been impacted by the pandemic. So maybe you would want to focus someplace else where maybe you might have comparable skills or transferable skills, and that you can build upon in your job search that help you can guarantee greater success. And then, as I mentioned, every month, every quarter, we have been doing labor insight reports, trying to help people understand which jobs and areas have been most impacted. This is our report from September. As I mentioned, we will be doing a new report that will be posting at the end of January. This includes, we're trying to help people understand what we're seeing in real time as far as who's been most impacted by the pandemic. We know that Blacks and Hispanics have slightly higher rate in our counties versus the white population. We know that women have been impacted at a higher rate than men, and also some of the occupations that have been impacted as well. And then we run reports showing, as I mentioned, which towns have the most positions, which industries have the most positions. And actually, under the towns, probably you're going to see this flip, because with 2,000 open positions in Franklin for Amazon, I'm sure this line will go almost off the page for our next report. Same here with the companies with the most positions. Amazon will just dominate right now, but also occupations, skill sets, as I mentioned. Our labor market analyst always likes to do software and programming for us, because that is something that an occupation and skill that comes off so often in the job postings that this information is pulled from. And you'll see that if you looked on this from this screen page and then looked in our skill up, you will find that we have courses on all of the Microsoft products, suites products that were here. There's also some Oracle, Scrum, JavaScript, and some other Linux too, that training is offered as a starting point in our skill up program. And also for those who may be looking for certifications, he also always pulls which certifications come up most frequently in our job postings for the last quarter. And we have this going back to 2019. As I mentioned, though, some of this has been skewed. Some of the projections have been skewed by what's happened with COVID. So we try to, and always emphasize that everything we're offering right now is directional, but also with the understanding that as 2021 progresses and the pandemic, the rate of new infections comes under control because of increased vaccination, that we'll be able to provide some better, even stronger directional material and data that points not only for the next 3 months, but looks ahead even further, which is something that we have done prior to the pandemic. If you have any questions, you can always contact us. This is me a few years ago, but it's close enough. Please don't hesitate. I'm pretty good about getting back to people either the same day or by the next day, as is our the other two people in our. Oops, let me get a full picture here for you. The other two people in our office, any one of us is here to help you ensure success in whatever your career goals may be. As I said, if there are One Stop Career Training Center offers regular weekly orientation sessions, but there's someone always standing by to assist you if you have further questions in that office, in the state office, employment training, or in our office. As I mentioned at the beginning, all of the system partners are here to ensure that we make sure that you're aware of the opportunities that exist in either open positions or in additional training to ensure your success. And I think that is all I have. I see, and I have a question here from, I wanted to also remind you, one person has asked for the PowerPoint. I'll be happy to send that to you. If anyone else would like the PowerPoint, please just put your information in the chat box. As far as next steps, if you're a job seeker, I would recommend that you really look into our SkillUp as a SkillUp platform as a resource for your training. I would also recommend that you reach out to our One Stop Training Center to get additional information about whether maybe you just need your resume reviewed. Well, our team can do that for you. Or if you need additional coaching, really the point of this is try for you to decide what is appropriate for you. So I do recommend that you reach out to have additional discussions with our training center. That email address is onestop@co.somerset.nj.us, and I'm putting that in the chat box right now. I'd also recommend that you go through our site to see if there's what other questions you may have. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me or my colleague Jean Casano. Will be happy to help you, and if we're not the appropriate point of contact for your question, we will make sure that you get in touch with the person or system partner who can help you. Laura, did that answer the question that you have posed here?
Yes, thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have any other questions? I'm monitoring the chat. I see that several of you have asked for the for the PowerPoint, and I'm writing your information down right now so I don't forget. And I will get this to you by the close of business today.
Hi, Paul. I have a question. My name is Maria Bada. First, I just want to thank you for your presentation. It was very informative and thorough, and I'm very excited to share this with the families I work with. I work for Bonnie Bray, and we are located in Somerset County. We offer comprehensive mental health services to youth and families all over New Jersey. I happen to manage the in-home and community services program, and our youth and families are concentrated in northern and central New Jersey. And I had two questions. One, for youth and families not located in Hunterdon and Somerset, I do know you mentioned that there are WDBs located all over New Jersey. Do you recommend that I refer them to the WDB that is located in their area, or can they also avail of the services in Greater Raritan? Secondly, what's my second question? Well, I'll start with that one. First of all, do we direct them to the WDB that they live closest to? And secondly, my second question is the Skill Up platform available in each WDB, or is this unique to Greater Raritan? Thanks.
Of course. The Skill Up is not available statewide. This is something that we have contracted with. It's also available in Middlesex County, in Monmouth County, in Bergen County, and in Passaic County, and then also in Cumberland, Cape May, and Salem. So right now, we only can offer it to residents in our two counties. We also though have been telling people, if you're someone who lives outside the counties but worked for a company that laid you off, we will be happy to allow you access. When you go to the registration page, just put the zip code for where that business was located, because when you're registering, you're just putting your name, email address, and zip code. So that's all you would need to do. We're not looking for, we don't get street addresses or anything like that. Secondly, I would recommend that you start with wherever your clients may be located physically. I would recommend that they get connected to that local area. I'm sure that you probably get a lot of people from Morris, Sussex, and Warren. That is one. Morris, Sussex, Warren has one workforce board for the three counties, and it's the Morris, Sussex, Warren Workforce Board. They're very effective. They do have some similar programs, but that not everything is similar. But Jane Armstrong is the director, and she will make sure that you get connected to any resources that they have.
Okay, great. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. Does anyone else? Oops. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss any people who want the PowerPoint. And Laura Begg had put in here as a reminder to people, one of the things we're trying to show is that there is opportunity. You may not have the exact skills right now for some of these, but you may. So we want people to be aware of it. And we also want people to be aware of the opportunity for training that's available to help you get the skills that will enable you to be on a successful career pathway. That is our goal and our mission for the entire workforce system in our two counties, but also in the state. And as I mentioned, we will continue to have continue to develop new programming, new virtual programming. So please keep an eye out on that. We have other programs that we're working on developing, new programs that we're working to develop. So please, feel free to bookmark our page and use all the resources that you see here. And if you ever have any questions or concerns, I'm just an email or a call away.
Paul, this is Laura. And so some of the services that are offered include things like, excuse me, resume development,
Right.
Cover letters, LinkedIn, support, for
Yep.
developing your LinkedIn profile and so on. I just want people on the call to know how broad the services are and how they, what a wide swath of, levels of professionalism, from entry level all the way up through people who have worked in careers their whole lives and are now looking to make a switch, or who were, whose employer closed, due to COVID, or who are looking to swap. There's just quite a lot of resources. And if people are overwhelmed in any way with where to begin, because there is so much information here, then the best place to start is really with the phone call.
Correct.
And
Yes.
I would encourage people to just reach out to you and to look at the website, but don't let the information coming at you on this call preclude you from taking that first step, which I know sometimes is really quite difficult. So
First
Paul,
step's sometimes the hardest, right, Laura?
yeah, the first step is frequently the hardest, and yet there are people here to help you even to take that first step. So I would encourage people to reach out.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your support in helping get this organized and the word out. I deeply appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, Paul.
Anyone else have any questions? All right. Well, I am then going to stop the recording.